Hey guys, how is everybody today? This is Tamela with Higher Vibes Tribe, also known as Lady Ivy. But from now on out, I believe going by Tamela. So anyway, wanted to bring a message forth to you. Speak to Spirit quite often, and during meditation recently I've written a couple of things, and I wasn't really pushed to share too much. I've just been jotting down everything every day, multiple times a day, and collecting information multiple times a day. So what I've got here is something I'd like to read to you, and it's a lot easier for me just to read it because I channel, and sometimes I do go off subject, and if I do that, I do apologize. But when I write, the words just flow. I can't explain the beautiful energy that comes in when the words just flow. So much easier. I'm more of a writer. So I'd like to read this to you today, and it begins with, find your vibe and be that. With the world going around today here lately, the way it is, so many people want us to be this and be that and go this way and go that way, and half of us don't know what the hell we want to do with ourselves, much less what anybody else tells us what to do. So, Spirit brought this message through, and it begins with, what choices are you making right now? There is a choice you're facing right now, and that choice paves a road. It's not just the errand to the store or a decision to move, but a choice that will vibrate forward to next week, next month, next decade. Your life depends on choices you make. You make what seems to be a simple choice. Choose a man, a job, a neighborhood. However, what have you chosen is not a man, a job, or a neighborhood, but a life. It's a quote from Jasmine West, and Find Your Vibe. Connecting with your higher self, your authentic, soulful self, she knows you better than you and can really help you out. Just ask her. Nothing new. You talk to you all the time. Now it's time to actually hear you. Love, you can feel the difference loving you makes. How this differs, how this defines you. That's the question. How is loving you defining you? Feel you, be you, love you. I love you, we love you, just as you are, flaws. And that's what you think they are, and all. There are really no flaws, people. We just believe that we have flaws. We believe we have flaws because so many people have told us that we have flaws. Hello. Drop the background voice. Your brilliant light is so beautiful. You really must see it. Love is your cornerstone, no matter where your home is. Love and compassion are the rocks you stand and build upon. Your family, the soul family, holds you and comforts you. Allow faith and knowing to be the roof through which you see. Simply imagine the person you are or choose to be, and be her. Get a good view and be that. Authentically, fully you. Bring in your newness, that which you have hidden. And with love, it's so hard to see and to love yourself. And I get it. I have beaten myself up. I've tried to commit suicide. I've done numerous things to try and either cover myself up, drug addictions, and not the hard stuff, guys. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway, drug's a drug, no matter what, hard or not. But I had to actually start to see me. Start to love me. But before I could do that, I had to break down all these walls. And so we're all here to help you to maybe find a way, not to show you the way. We'd love to show you and for you just to grab our hands and follow us along, but we know that's not quite that easy. We actually have to be an example to you. So, but the words that come through from Spirit are, sorry, like I said, guys, I go off. But anyway, it's time to be authentically you, to bring in your newness. Desires you didn't have before. Foods you didn't like before, maybe because you were told they weren't good. People and places change. You got to go and see them. And now you have a desire to go that you never knew you had. Music changes, movie changes, family connections and relationships merge or fall away. As you become closer and more in tune to you and to your vibration and what it means for you to feel loved and what it takes for you to feel loved and for you to feel loved inside and to know that that comes from you. That it's not, your husband's not going to walk in the door and look at you and say, I love you. Well, mine does. But, walk in the door and say, I love you, and you just get automatically these goosebump feelings, and he's giving you all this love. But when he walks out the door, how do you feel? You have to be able to still feel that love because it comes from you. It comes from within. It's really beautiful, though, that it really does come from within. Anyway, let's go back to some of these changes. Once we start seeing this love from within and how beautiful we are within and how we're magical, aren't we? What changes are you seeing and feeling as you open up to the authentic you? That's a big question. What are we seeing? What do you start to feel when you really start to acknowledge you, your desires, your passions? We've we've gone through this big stuff. Now you're back to you. I know me, I'm sitting here in this space, and to some it might seem very tiny. To me, it's just perfect. But you sit there in your little space, and it's just you. We've cleared out closets. We've cleared out minds. We've cleared out all this stuff. We've released our attachments and our anchors, and anchored even more into what we really, truly feel and believe within ourselves, not from somewhere else, but within ourselves. So how does it feel? I want to stand up and yell. I really do. I just want to stand up and jump for joy because it really feels good to be me. And beautiful souls, I know it must feel good to be you. And some of you say, well, no, not really. I get it. I get the no, not really. There are times when I've been screaming mad. But you know what? When you're screaming mad and you let all that out, you're still authentically you. That's the bright news. If you're crying and upset and I send you love, you're authentically you. If you're angry and it's real and you feel it and you're letting it, that's authentically you. If you're loving and that's really what you're feeling at the moment, that also is authentically you. There is no wrong or right way to feel loves. It's all you. That's the beauty of it. And when we allow ourselves to feel all of you, you receive all of you. And it's just beautiful because we repress so many things in these beautiful bodies that we've been provided with to escort us through this world. And it's here to help us break through emotional boundaries. Really, it is. And you can see the density change in it as you release the emotional boundaries. So, how good does it feel to be authentically you? Opening up and seeing the changes. Completely accepting of all of you. Completely in love with you. On your path, walking your own pace. Happy with you and the way things are evolving in your favor every step of the way. Isn't that easier? Doesn't what you feel better now? Don't you feel better now? It's very hard to read these sometimes, loves, I'm sorry. Better than rushing here or there to please him or her or it and never feeling fully fulfilled and mostly depleted. How many of you find yourselves that way? So much nicer just to be able to be real. If you don't want to go, say no. If you don't want to do that, and it's not in your alignment, and you don't have to, say no. And you really don't have to anyway. But what I'm speaking of when I say have to is responsibility that we have to our everyday lives, like our children and our cooking and our picking up of our homes and, the caring for others, that is part of the necessity and part of that being human, which also keeps that emotional roller coaster going. So in order for that to flow easily without hindrance, we also have to keep ourselves open emotionally and accepting of all things. It's very difficult. Very difficult. I understand. I really understand. I really love you so much for listening. But isn't it easier to feel? Doesn't going with the flow feel just so much better than always picking up the pieces? Let the pieces be. That's one of the messages they send me over and over and over again. I'm always around picking stuff up off the floor. I can't stand for trash to be on the floor. And so I'm always picking it up, and I keep being reminded, isn't it easier than picking up all those pieces to go get that vacuum cleaner, roll it across there, let them be, do what you got to do, and move along. Quit picking up the pieces. Quit picking up the pieces. They fall for a reason. They will find their way on their own energy at their own time. A lot easier to walk without all the distractions, all the attachments, all the stuff you're bringing and dragging along and picking up. Literally dragging it with you. It's time to be you. Know you. Talk with you. Ask you what you're going and what to do. We always call our neighbors, what do you think I should do about this? Well, ask yourself. Hey, Mom, I got a problem. Well, how about ask yourself? What's your answer? Mom's answer might not be the answer that you would do. Although it is very comforting to hear her beautiful voice, it might not be the answer that you're looking for. And if we ask our neighbor, they might have something that's not in our alignment to do also. So that might not be what you're looking for. So it's always good, just ask yourself. I do this. I scry a lot. And sometimes I ask myself through scrying, because we always know that's a connection to higher self also. Anyway, talk with you. Ask you what to do. She knows where to go. Take my word for it. You just have to ask and to hear and to listen. Slow down long enough for her to speak up, or him. Or it doesn't really matter. See, as we all know, sex really doesn't have a boundary in any of this. You know all of this. And you don't have to be told, only reminded. To know the soul's travel plans, you just have to ask. And don't forget to ask what to pack, because she knows that too. Loves, let's trust in the process. It's just that easy. He or she is simply waiting for you to trust him or her, having faith in the process, allowing the material movement and the acceptance of all life happens around us all. Sometimes we call out and search for home, and it's perfectly natural to desire the comfort of home. The feeling that mother entails, the comfort of unconditional love, the connection to you brings it all together. You are never alone, although it may seem. So you are not. At these moments, when you call out for home, we are there. You are there, guiding you in like the lighthouses. You are showing all the way home. And my loves, we welcome you home. I bid you namaste in unconditional love, always. This has been Tamela. We love you.